Hey everybody, I'm back. So as far as Crusade mode goes, I think I've learned how it works now. How it works is that magic generals are awesome, and all other generals are completely worthless. Also, auto battle mode sucks. See? Easy. Begging for mercy, one of the imprisoned demons points at an inconspicuous crack in the rock that their unit had been ordered to guard until the arrival of a pack of slaves. Examining the crack, the Crusaders return to the commander and proudly display a handful of shining dust to him. The crevice is home to an adamantine lode. This rare and precious metal will come in useful to the Mendevian army. Alright, let's turn that off then. Here, during the First Crusade, the radiant Sarenrae performed a miracle and granted the Crusaders victory in a battle that was otherwise lost. Years later, during the Second Crusade, the Mendev Knights clashed with the army of the Abyss here once again. They fought to the bitter end, but the miracle never happened again. The carnage was atrocious, and those who fell found no repose and rose again as the undead. Finally, they found peace in the flames of bonfires. The statue of the sun goddess was cleansed of blood and dirt, and from her chest, in trembling hands, the Crusaders removed a sacred golden symbol from her chest, a relic long believed to have been lost. Faultless Daybreak. In the course of the First Crusade, a group of Sarenrae worshipping healers went to the aid of Galfrey's army. However, in the dark of the night they were attacked by a gang of demons and demon-worshipping cultists who had edged into their rear. Though unskilled in battle, the clerics and healers fought desperately, repelling one attack after another, but the sides were not evenly matched. No one was left to repel the final attack. All of the Sarenrae adepts were wounded. No one was able to raise their sword. So they met the enemy with prayer, and a miracle happened. The morning broke an hour early, and the first rays of dawn expelled the demons into the abyss. The light healed the most terrible wounds of the mortals and brought the fallen, whether righteous or sinful, back to life. Both the believers and the misguided shed their tears. They fell to their knees as one and prayed to the bright goddess for forgiveness, and forgiveness was granted. Not a single mortal died on that bloody night. The last and the brightest ray of dawn blinded everyone and took the shape of the sacred symbol of Sarenrae. They named the relic the Faultless Daybreak and placed it on the breast of a statue mounted on the site where the miracle had happened. I don't know about taking on a level 7 army, but let's see if we can do it. Ooh. Ah. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, this is taking too long. Maybe I should just wait a little while and let General's energy rebuild so he can cast that spell more often. Hmm. I don't know if this is gonna work. Yeah, that's unacceptable. Chance of skipping action due to negative morale reduces by 5%. Yeah, I'd better rest first. People are starting to get fatigued.
I analyzed the aerodynamic properties of your wings, Demon Girl. My conclusion? They are incapable of flight.
And yet they do fly. I hope this isn't the only time I managed to violate the laws of the universe.
Alright, here we go. Now, how do I even pronounce that? Pawn of Egiphiles. Lady Hepzibah ordered me to bring her the moon of the abyss. Give it to me and I will kill you quickly. Is he talking to me? He's definitely talking to me. Hey, Hornhead! I'm the spawn of my mind, duh. I don't even want to think about where you crawled out of. Have at it, Chief. Show him your special chiefly mojo. Who is Egiphiles? A demon who sowed his seed on Galarian. From his seed grew the coward currently hiding behind you. He will die more slowly and painfully than you, in retribution for everything Aegiphilas has done to vex my mistress, who is Hepzibah. My mistress is the High Priestess of Lord Baphomet. I will fulfill her command, and she will honor me with her blessing. Who are you? Know the name of the one who will squeeze out your innards. Votiel, Gorger of Screams, Hepzibah's scourging lash, and Baphomet's faithful. You will die begging me for mercy. Why are you so determined to kill Woljif? Why do you need the Moon of the Abyss? Yeah, why? I ain't never seen you before in my life. Maybe you got me confused with somebody else. Another Woljif, maybe? Or a guy with horns like mine? You are Aegiphilas' spawn. That is reason enough to kill you, but my mistress also needs the item you stole. The Moon of the Abyss. No more talking. Die, traitorous seed. Have at it, Chief. Pilgrims of the World Wound, attack! Fight for me! I'll be over there, monitoring your performance. We will not fight against a demon. Demons are our future masters. We cannot show insubordination. What has gotten into you, Crescent of the Abyss? You're not trying to betray us, are you? Ah, I forgot. They're not just dumb as planks. They're stubborn as mules, too. Quick, Chief, say something to them. You'll be more persuasive than me. This demon is trying to deceive you. A servant of Baphomet wouldn't murder the Crescent of the Abyss. The Crescent of the Abyss kept his word. He let us hear as he promised. Nevertheless, the demon wants him dead. Yes, something isn't adding up here. Yeah, he's gonna die. Nice.
You are nothing before me.
Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. What do you make of that Votiel then, Chief? Ooh. So, will you take me back? There's nothing for me to do on my own in the World Wound, and we do kinda make a good team. I promise not to run away again. As long as we don't get attacked by gargoyles again. If they do, sorry, Chief, but they're really scary. I'm out of there. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I really won't run away again. Really. Don't get ahead of yourself. First, I deserve to know what your connection is to the demons. I don't know anything about any demons. That's the first time I ever saw that Votiel beast, and he sure seemed to have it in for me. He doesn't just want the moon of the abyss, he wants me to suffer. And that mistress of his, Hipsa, whatever she's called, there's something fishy going on here, Chief. I'm telling you, I want to get to the bottom of it. It's because something tells me we'll be seeing Votiel again. I know his type. Once they get a hold of you, they don't let go. Here's how it is. There's this demon, Igephilus, the one that Votiel and his mistress are so worked up over. If I'm supposed to be his spawn, then maybe he's my grandpa? I'd believe it. He's caused so much trouble that people even want to bump off his grandkids. Yep, that sounds like my family, alright. Igephilus did something to Votiel's boss. Maybe he stole the moon from her. I don't know. Anyway, she sent her top muscle to find it, the muscle being Votiel, and now I'm the poor sap who's supposed to pay for all of Granddaddy's evil deeds? See, demons are just the same as low-class thugs when you get down to it, but I ain't giving them the moon. Even the shadows started talking to me because of it, and then there's... Anyway, we'll talk about that later. That's a separate discussion. You can stay if you promise not to run off again. I swear on my manta. To be fair, I'm not sure if they're alive or dead, but even dead people can have a lot happen to them. They can be raised from the dead or just dug up to be used in experiments. I knew one old-timer, a street food vendor, who would buy fresh corpses. He was looking into something, almost as if... Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is this. I need to talk to you. I don't have anybody else. Face to face, somewhere private. In Dresden, that'll do. When you see me standing alone, come talk to me. Chief, you remember Dave all right? First he was lying on the altar, then he was tied up on the floor. He's led a varied life, is what I'm saying. Wanna say hello? He's basically one of us. He won't look down his nose at us. And he's rich to boot. Maybe you can shake something out of him. You know, for helping him. Even an IOU would be better than nothing. Why not? It was a fine fight. It was tough for me, but it's the first time in a long while that I felt human again, not a mute animal. Thank you. That was you, mute? You're an even bigger talker than me, Your Excellency. Only you sound like a library book, and I sound like a back alley gutter. I learned my letters on the streets, you know, from the signs. Anyway, that's by the by. I wasn't planning on saving you, I just didn't want you to pop up in my dreams looking all pathetic and asking, "Why, Woljif, why didn't you save me?" Nah, I don't need that kind of hassle in my life. I'm sure nothing could break your irrepressible spirit. Commander, I don't know how to thank you for saving me. Iomade must truly be watching over me, and I must do everything in my power to repay her. What are you planning to do now? Get out of this place and return to the ranks of the Crusaders. Don't worry about me. Even if I should die on the way back, I'll die a warrior's death. If this crusade has taught me anything, it's the value of an honorable death. Death worthy of a man. Time to go. I fear scavengers will swarm here before we decide if it's worth burying the bodies. Thanks again, my friend. If you ever find yourself on Guenevere land in eastern Mendev, I can ask my parents to find you a position suited to your talents. The Guenevers are always in need of good, reliable men. Good men? I'm not a man, Your Excellency, and I won't be your servant neither. Do you think you're doing me a good turn? You posh people are all alike. Even if I saved your skin a dozen times, you'd never see me as your equal. You can take your gratitude and shove it. Don't call me friend. You're right, Woljif. A servant can become a friend, but a friend cannot become a servant. You sang a different tune when you were stuck in a cage looking for sympathy like a lost lamb. Huh, that's blue bloods for you. Let's go. We shouldn't linger here. May Iomade watch over you, Commander. I shall pray for you. Alright, let's go, Chief. On to new adventures. I'm sick of this place, to tell the truth. It's empty, it's boring, and we might as well talk on the road instead of hanging around here. Do you know any traveling songs? Want me to teach you some tavern tunes? The one where the thief falls in love with a beautiful woman and she turns out to be a guard, and the two of them get hacked up on the street. Or how about the one where the thief's in court and the judge is his father? Or that one about how if you don't behave yourself, you'll live out your days in a special institution. I remember 'em all, and we've got plenty of time. First, let's loot the bodies. What's this? Belt of Demonic Shadow. Whenever the wearer of this belt casts a spell of level 6 or higher, it summons CR7 Shadow Demon to fight alongside the wearer for 2 minutes. Only one such demon can be present on the battlefield. If the demon is already summoned, casting a new spell of level 6 or higher will heal it for 2d6 hit points. Yeah, I should be able to just... Hold on. Yeah, there's probably something waiting for me in the Citadel.
Beautiful.
Nope. Alright, let's go talk to Woljif. Hey, Chief. Wanna talk? You wanted to tell me something in private. I don't know how to word it so you don't just drag me straight to the Inquisitors. Is this another secret? You can trust me, I won't tell anyone. Fine. I still can't believe you took me back. No one has ever done anything like that for me before. So I guess I can trust you with some things. Not all of them, though. My shadow... Did I tell you it talks now? Well, it happened after I started carrying the Moon of the Abyss with me. And that's not the only thing that happened. It's been giving me strange dreams. Like I'm falling inside some kind of crystal. I keep falling forever. Everything around me is shining. The dreams don't mean anything. I thought it was because the wound is so near, but there's something else. Chief, I'm stronger. My fingers tingle anytime I use magic now, like it's dying to come out. It wasn't like this before. I did some magic, but now it's like I can do some real damage, you know? This never happened before I took the moon. Chief, I don't know what to do with these powers. What if they get stronger? I mean, I've always thought about what I'd do if I was suddenly rich and powerful. I'd show everyone my true worth, but I'm not ready for this. It's too much for a simple fella like me. Yes, this is my grandfather's inheritance, but why did he leave it to me? Do you think he really wanted me to become stronger so I could grab what the world owed me as payment for all the kicks and blows, for all the mocking at the way I was born? What if it's a trap? Yeah, I think he might appreciate this answer more. I know, a cautionary tale. The Golden Hands had a thug, a half-orc who'd bend coins and break bricks with his head for a dare. So once they asked him, "Can you lift a tower shield with your teeth, no hands?" He tried it, and all his teeth fell out. All of them, one by one, you know? So he lived on porridge until he kicked the bucket. Which happened because he couldn't lisp the password to the hideout, so they shot him with a crossbow on the spot. They figured it out later and everyone felt bad about it. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, that's when I realized that even if you have great strength, you need to use your brain too. And now if Votiel gets to me again, I'll be ready. Thanks for understanding, Chief. I don't know what I'd do without you. Votiel, Eugephilis, there are too many demons hanging around you, and the Moon of the Abyss turned out to be of demonic origin as well. You think I like it? If it was up to me, I would never have met them. This is how I see it. Eugephilis must be my grandfather, since they call me his spawn. Votiel, that spiked ugly mug, came to try to collect some of the old demon's debt from me. I know how it goes. We have uncles for this in the family. Big thugs, but without the spikes, who go around beating money out of late payers. The Hepzimira he's talking about must be like our sister Charisme, but for demons. And old Gramps crossed her somehow and she just can't get over it. He probably stole the Moon of the Abyss from her. I don't know, but I would've. And the moon... Heh, Grandpa, you should've left me a note or something. Chief, I think he expected better of me than how I turned out in the end. He probably thought he'd have a smart grandkid who'd know what the moon was for and what to do with it. But he got me. So what if he was a demon? I don't want to let him down, you know. He believed in me, I guess. Just you and him, Chief. The only two people in the whole world who believe in me. That's why I have to figure this thing out. I should probably rest here tonight, just to get rid of the corruption.
We'll win this, one way or the other.
Hold on, +4. Why not? Yeah, I feel like that should go to him, but then he'll lose his dexterity bonus. I don't think he even knows any level 6 spells. Well, I mean, he knows spells, but he can't cast them. I'll just hang on to that belt for now. Commander, it is an honor to call this first meeting of the Military Council to order. I am Captain Odin, and I have been serving under your command ever since the assault on the Grey Garrison. I will do my best to be of as much use to you as possible in this role. The foundation of the military is cold calculation and discipline. These are the principles I will seek to impart to the Crusaders. If we are to win this war, we must forget about mercy, for our enemies, for our troops, and for ourselves. Well, Commander, your sister Sela is no renowned general, but she spent half her life tussling with evil. Looks like I'll be stepping up on behalf of all of Iomede's faithful here. I hope my advice will prove useful. The first issue on the Military Council's agenda is the reorganization of the troops. Our infantry have been bled dry. The forces Her Majesty granted to us were enough to take Dresden, but we need more troops to hold it. Furthermore, the army was assembled in great haste after the assault on Canabras and was never adequately equipped. Unfortunately, we don't have much time for redeployment. Our scouts report that a powerful Baelor, Horamzadeh, is already preparing a retaliatory strike on Dresden, but we can rely on freshly conscripted Mendevian soldiers. They may not have the skill, but our strength as always lies in the number and the fervor of the volunteers joining the Crusades. Can't throw everyone into the meat grinder, we'll just get our youths killed for nothing. We need to select the best among the recruits, or even better, hold a contest. The bravest and the most capable will join the Crusaders. The death count is always highest in the infantry. Its purpose is to serve as a shield. It would be wise to invest our resources in hiring and training heavy footmen with shields to ensure maximum protection, even if it limits their mobility and makes them less threatening to the enemy. does the Military Council do? The Military Council determines the strategy for our troops, enacts army reforms, approves new equipment standards, and makes decisions on all issues regarding military action on the front lines. Who is this Baylor Khorramzadeh? The most trusted servant of the demon Lord Deskari. Among the historians of the Mendevian Crusades, he's known as the strategist of the World Wound. He's not as renowned as Minago, the conqueror of Dresden, nor Hepzimira, daughter of Baphomet, but he has claimed the most major victories over the forces of Mendev. He's a general, and quite possibly one of the best tacticians in the entire Abyss. I've been studying his style of warfare for years. He may seem like an ordinary demon, another typical war taskmaster, but that's a fallacy. Like a beast following a scent, he senses weaknesses in his enemy's defenses and strikes at them, sending soldiers to bring targeted carnage. His uncanny charisma attracts more and more soldiers to him, so he's never short on troops and sacrifices them like pawns whenever he pleases in order to achieve his victories. Khorramzadeh is the face of the demon host. For many years I've been gathering research on him, preparing for the day our armies would clash with his once more. I hope my council will help you defeat him, but so far, Khorramzadeh has known no defeats. I have a question for my advisors. We're ready to answer any questions you may have, Commander. Sela, have you ever commanded an army before? Not on a scale like this, of course not. But I've fought evil and I know its tricks. Besides, war makes people callous, and it's always useful to have a paladin advisor around to remind you at a crucial moment what we're actually fighting for, right? Rigel, why do you wish to sit on the Military Council? I have command experience, and I intend to impart to the Crusaders at least a modicum of the discipline and rigidity of the Hell Knights. The quality of the Mendevian staff currently available to you leaves much to be desired. That much is certain. Who are you, Captain Odin? I've served on the front lines of the Mendevian army for over 25 years, and in that time I've gained a wealth of combat experience. I'm considered one of the foremost experts on tactics and strategy in Queen Galfrey's officer corps. I've spent my whole life studying the craft of warfare, and I'm familiar with the thoughts of all prominent military leaders of the last 5 centuries. Furthermore, I wholeheartedly believe in the traditions of Mendev's military art, and will gladly share my knowledge with you, Commander. I want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Sela, do we really need only the bravest and most capable for our infantry? I mean, we can't send untrained rookies to a slaughter. We have the right to command only those who are ready for battle, those who can defeat the enemy. We must find out who has the skill and the guts. Contests are perfect for that, and a little excitement for our warriors couldn't hurt either. We won't get that many winners, but their strength will come from their prowess, not their numbers. Your proposal would leave us with an infantry full of selfish risk-takers dreaming of glory and valor. That is bad material for a soldier. The infantry's role is to be a shield for the archers and mages. All they're required to do is follow orders and hold the line, unto victory or death. Ambitious loners cherry-picked through contests of skill are not fit to perform this duty. Rigel, why do you insist on shield-bearers? The infantry is a meat shield, intended to catch the blade of the opposing army in its flesh. The shield must be reliable, that is all that is required of it. That is why I would like to see well-armored shield-bearers as our foot soldiers. We must have the option of pitting ranks of footmen against a tide of rampaging demons, knowing with certainty that they will not scatter or die until they have completed their task. Captain Odin, you just want to gather up some recruits from Mendev? Yes, institute a draft and try to amass as many new soldiers from Mendev and other lands as we can. We've always drawn our strength from our zeal and our determination to oppose evil. If we start holding contests or selections, we'll turn a holy crusade into a job for the chosen few and scare away future volunteers. If we try changing our tried and true tactics, we'll lose valuable time, and our army is in need of fresh blood right now. Let's see, the main barracks provide weekly recruitment growth for champions, powerful shock infantry. All footmen are promoted to champions. The main barracks provide weekly recruitment growth for shield bearers, staunch defensive infantry. All footmen are promoted to shield bearers. The main barracks provide weekly recruitment growth for conscripts. Poorly trained but cheap and numerous infantry. All footmen are promoted to conscripts. Yeah, what Regal's saying makes sense. Let's go with the shield bearers. I will monitor the recruiters' work and the preparation of all necessary equipment. Thank you for your time, Commander. The reforms are finished and the ranks of our infantry are replenished. I will assemble the military council to discuss new decisions. Is there anything more that can be done in crusade management? Energy points income increases by 1. Yeah, let's do that. Nothing else I could do aside from that, which just raises morale. And that's kind of pointless right now. How much material do I have? Not enough for the main stables. I'll have to come back to that later. Yeah, let's see how Greybore does. See, defensive study. Found a way to use your perception and knowledge to better defend yourself. Your studied target ability gives you a bonus to AC against the target of your studied target ability, equal to the bonus this ability gives you to attack rolls. 2-weapon fighting mythic. Penalties on attack rolls for fighting with 2 weapons are reduced by 2. Rupture restraints. Yep. Okay, I haven't been here yet, so let's go there. The Sword of Valor, the great relic of the Crusades, mysteriously changed upon coming into contact with the commander. What does this mean? Clerics and wizards could shed some light on the artifact's properties. The hatred of the descendants of Sarkoris toward arcane spellcasters knows no bounds. The representatives of several tribes demand that mages not be allowed to serve in their units. Let's go with this. Upon receiving harsh punishment, the Khalids begrudgingly complied. News of this has bolstered the commander's authority within the ranks. They who do not seek to know their enemy and fail to forge new paths to victory will inevitably fail. The secret of success lies in officers' steadfast focus on strategy, the ability to learn from past experiences, and the preparation of soldiers for future battles. Is there any other... let's go with this one. Alright, let's see how we do. Well, that's not ideal. There, I did it. The mine was once filled with the undead, but has now been cleansed. When demons got close to the mine to save themselves, the miners blocked the entrance, hoping that help would arrive before they starved to death. Alas, help never arrived, and those trapped suffered a truly horrible fate. Materials points increases by 5 per day. Hmm. Fuck you. Let's give it a try at least. Nice. Okay, no. At least not until my wizard has gotten his energy back. What an honor it is to see you again, Commander. Welcome to the Temple of Delamere the Blessed. As the temple's prior, I offer my greetings. I want to know more about this temple and everything connected to it. Where to begin? This temple is dedicated to Delamere. Oh, I mean, of course it is a temple of Erastil, but Delamere was the prior of this temple. I mean, no. I am the prior of this temple, and she is like its blessed Mother Superior, its patroness. What is it like to be a prior? Oh, it's terrifying. I live here alone, you see. People travel a great distance to come here. But I have been given an important task. Here in the World Wound, these temples are needed more than ever so that people don't lose their faith. But that doesn't stop my legs shaking in terror. When I think of my teacher Rathamus, rest his soul, I just feel like running away. I swear I would have run long ago, but one thing keeps me here. Erastil would not have granted me these spells for no reason. I cannot let him down, or the people. I can't let them down either. This place frightens you, but you're still here. You should be proud of that. Erastil is with me. If my faith is strong, his antlers will protect me from evil demons. He won't let them devour me. Tell me about Delamere. She lived in these parts back when Sarkoris was still standing. She was a priestess of Erastil, and the Kellids deeply respected her for her hard nature and her unshakable faith. Erastil blessed her with various wonders, and the common folk knew that she would stand up for them. Delamere did not like city life. She said cities encouraged vile deeds and corruption of the soul. She said that people ought to live in small clans, where everyone knows everyone, where everyone is kin, and where every person has a duty to the rest. You can't hide your sins in a village. In a village, everyone knows what kind of person you are. She had a revelation, and she would travel around the villages and see how many people lived there. If any settlement had more than 53 souls, she drove out all the rest and told them to settle elsewhere. Because otherwise the villages would have grown and turned into little towns. Her methods were harsh, of course, but people still listened to her, because Erastil himself was on her side. She had an edge to her. She single-handedly chased off whole bands of marauders that harassed villagers. And after she died, this temple was built in her honor, in the place where Erastil gifted her with his relics. They say it was here that a white stag emerged from the forest and spoke to her in a human voice, telling her that she should hunt it because it was the will of her lord. Delamere tracked that stag for 3 days and 3 nights through the forests, and when she ran it to the ground, she made its antlers into a bow and its hide into armor. And that bow never misses, and Erastil himself blessed that armor so that it repels the strikes of enemies. I do not share her views, but I respect her faith. Even I think that she was a hard woman. Can it truly be wrong for more than 53 people to live in one place? And if there are 54, does the moral decay and treachery begin immediately? But that is my foolishness and ignorance talking. The wisdom of Erastil was revealed to Delamere, so she must have understood the unique mysteries underpinning the world. I want to know more about Erastil's teachings. Erastil is an old god, back from the times when there were no such thing as his towns. Simple he is, and good, and he wants people to be the same. He wants them to live in small settlements where everyone knows each other. He wants them to value the simple joys of life and not vacuous pondering. He wants people to earn their bread honestly through hunting, crafts, farming, and fishing. He especially prizes hunting, of course, when it is for sustenance rather than sport. He is both stag and hunter. He favors both guises. Erastil does not like finery, and he demands no special ceremonies. He used to simply appear before hunters and rangers and offer his wisdom. But when he is angered, he is terrifying. If someone harms the country folk, he takes pleasure in hurting animals or spoils the crops, that person may well take an arrow from Erastil, and his bow knows no mercy. It is the father of all bows, for it was Erastil who taught people how to shoot. Have you seen anything suspicious in the area? No, everything's quiet around here. There's nothing going on in this temple, that's for sure. Pilgrims have said there's a dragon flying around this area, snatching up travelers, and others say that's just a rumor. Things are quiet here in my temple. Have you heard about my new powers? Your power is hard to miss. It is like grass growing through stones, stubborn, full of life, and unpredictable. Sometimes it seems like I can sense your approach from afar, like a gust of warm wind or the freshness in the air that comes before a storm. There is goodness in your power, but there is something else that frightens me. It is too unpredictable, and it seems to me that you cannot fully control it. Grass between stones. To grow, the grass must destroy solid ground, but something may have been standing on that solid formation, something may have relied on its firmness. I'm sorry, I can't express myself more clearly. You should be speaking to someone who is truly wise about this. Let's get some more of these. Hmm. Well, I'm definitely giving that ring to her.
Is that a trap?
What? Where? I discovered a concealed door in the temple. Where does it lead? What door? Ah, the door. It leads into the cellar. There's nothing interesting behind that door. Are you sure that's the good option? Yes. It's all Zenedra. She's a witch. She came here one night, threatened to torture me, and demanded that I let her into the crypt. She said that her friends would be coming here sometimes, and then she placed a curse on me. If I allow anyone other than initiated servants of Baphomet into the crypt without her permission, a brood of rats will appear in my stomach, and they will gnaw me from the inside out. But I want to live. I'm no warrior. I'm a humble shepherd, and I never said a word to anyone. They go in there and do things. They whisper. I'm afraid to go in, and you can't go in. There is no one in there now anyway. Zenadra hasn't been here for many days, and Durasta willing she won't come again. Accursed witch. I want to go inside the crypt. I have the key, but what right do you have to... You betrayed your flock. If you have even an ounce of conscience left, you'll give me the key. Don't. Don't go in there. Well, I won't go in there just yet. Wait a minute. The statue's missing an arm.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
Specimen 367, Finney and Dismar, Test Report 1. Master, the first stage of the testing process was a success. Specimen 367, Finney and Dismar, turned into a sword on command. The sword possesses sufficient sharpness and the ability to adjust the wielder's strike. It beheaded a crusader with a single blow. A clean cut, the blade is undamaged. Additional notes, the specimen makes unwanted noises resembling weeping. No reaction to threats. Is this where it happened? Is this where Finian was turned into whatever he is now? Then there's those again, who know, and no one can equip those apparently. Maybe I need a horse to equip those on.
Is that treasure?
I finished here. Is there more?
Take a look.
Hey, more elven notes. Belt of incredible dexterity +4. So what happens if I go down there? Mira is 3 days old. What a happy day. I'm strong enough to hold a quill again, and I can now write of my joy. My prayers have been answered at last. I prayed desperately for many years to the goddess of beauty and fertility, but they only responded with silence. Mother Lamashtu alone answered my prayers. Finally, Mira was born. It was difficult for me to bear her for 9 months, but looking into her golden eyes and seeing her pretty smile, I realized that all the hardships were worth it, and all the terrible rituals I wish I could forget. It's such a pity that my husband didn't live to see this day. Mira is 6 months old. The wet nurse refused to feed her. She said the baby bit her breasts too hard and sucked out the blood. What nonsense! True, my little girl was born with teeth, but that doesn't make her a bloodsucker. She's my angel, and I'm sure the humps on her back will soon develop into little wings. Mira is 5 years old. Mira is 5, but I still breastfeed her. She just won't let go of me. I'm the only one who can bear her little teeth. The servants leave us one after another. They say they're frightened by rustling in the night, and that girls discover bite marks and bruises on their arms and legs in the morning. The housekeeper was the last to leave. She said she woke up at night to the sound of scratching up above the ceiling beam. She swears she looked up and saw Mira crawling across the ceiling. She showed me claw marks on the wood too, but of course I told her it was all ridiculous. My baby sleeps blissfully at night, but the silly woman packed her things nevertheless. Mira is 5.5. Mira loves me so much it's impossible to pull her away from my breast. It worries me that she doesn't want to eat vegetables. The cook complains that the little girl sneaks into the kitchen and snatches pieces of raw meat right out of her hands. My poor girl, no one wants to be friends with her. That's why she plays such strange games. Mira is 6. The cook has vanished. She probably ran away in secret. Mira slept all day. Her little tummy is so bloated. I'm afraid she might have contracted an illness from the uncooked meat. Mira is 6 and 1 month. I found what was left from the cook in the compost pile. I don't know what kind of animal chewed off her breasts and ripped chunks of meat from her stomach. A wolf, perhaps? A rabid dog? Absent-minded, I didn't hear Mira come close. She laughed joyously, pointing her little finger at the rotting remains. A child's innocence. She didn't even realize what she was looking at. This may be the last thing I write in my life. My milk is not enough for Mira anymore. She wants more from me, and the wounds from her little teeth get deeper and deeper. Now I understand what happened to the cook. I am afraid, but I am her mother. I must be strong and give my child everything I can. Mira is near. I can hear her crystal laughter. Great Mother Lamashtu, I beg you, care for her when I'm gone. She has no one but us. Shit. He wasn't kidding. Wait a minute. Hmm. Guess all that's left to do is find the witches who are here.
You put on a good show, but we'll never believe your supposed change of heart.
But if I was still the old Arushale, you would believe it? Oh. You would have believed anything I wanted you to. Your doubts only prove my honesty.
Maybe I'll try this again. I can't accept that. Oh, this again. I guess there's no way to get away from this battle, is there?
Dedicate my body to science.
Retreat is not an option.
I will resist!
Gray Boy, I hope you've got an idea for how you're gonna kill this fucking thing. Now, does he have all his energy back yet? No, not yet. Now, is this gonna happen immediately, or should I buff... Yeah, that I should buff my party members first? Or is this gonna take a while? And then the point is moot. Well...
Lisano Danwo. Irimosi. 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 Kravisi. Irimosi Kravisi.
Come over here. This is where we'll set up an ambush for the dragon. Let's light as many fires as we can, so she thinks there's a whole caravan staying here overnight. You can be sure she won't resist such easy prey. I do know there are some mean, angry dragons around. Some of them even eat the small, nice ones. Or so I heard. Anyway, I will fight like a beast, and I'll even growl like one too. This wicked old dragon won't eat me. Let's get started. This is going to be a fine ambush.
This is where I shine.
Retreat is not an option.
Shit. Damn it.
Kneel before me. Simply business.
Ground is covered in fresh dragon blood and deep claw marks. The winged silhouette soars high up into the night sky and heads east, doubtless towards her lair. The assassin gives the commander a thumbs up and throws his pack over his shoulder. The ambush was a success. Serious loss of blood, though not fatal, causes the dragon's heart to compensate by contracting more rapidly in order to oxygenate the muscles. This makes it more difficult for her to breathe and weakens her wing capacity. The lack of oxygen then leads to convulsive seizures that force the dragon to descend for short rests. It takes her the entire night to travel the distance she would normally cover in a few hours. Then where did she go? Ah, there. Is the skeleton guy again? Yep. Yeah, maybe I'll get that. Guess I'll get that too.
Actually... Ah, why didn't I do this before? See if anything's happened while I was gone. Commander, upon hearing word of your victory in the Battle of Dresden, many leaders in Avestan have considered taking a more active supporting role in the crusade. Fighting demons in the name of saving the world is a prestigious endeavor, especially when the war is going well. The one whose help is accepted first will increase their standing in the political arena, which is why the powers are now competing for the right to conclude an alliance with Mendev before their rivals do. Neurosian has already chosen which of them is to be favored. Eisger. We've been building an alliance with that nation for a long time, and now the capital is expecting you to address the steward of Eisger with an official offer to support you. Lastwall is Mendev's most trusted ally. If we are to ask someone for support, it should be them, the Shining Crusade. What say we invite the Sword Lords of Brevoy to this party? The righteous Mendevian knights just love those hot-headed provincials who draw their weapons and challenge you to a duel at the drop of a hat. And get this, they win such duels. Neurosian will be ecstatic to have allies like these, and I hope the demons will enjoy their company as well. Just a note, we happen to have a neighbor who's got barely any presence in the crusade. I'm talking about Numeria. It's believed to be too wild and barbaric to have any dealings with. How about we show everyone how wild and barbaric tribes can fight and invite them to play a bigger part in our war? Everyone who wanted to come because they listened to their heart are here already. Time to call those who listen to their purse. We'll drop a line to the Varisian cities, tempt them with some nice spoils, and loads of savvy folks will come running. Why does Neurosian decide whose help I should accept? Because you are, with all due respect, one of Her Majesty's subjects. And because it took great effort for Mendev's diplomatic corps to win Eisger over and ensure you would receive their help. Are you confident that the allies you choose yourself will be as reliable? Can't we call everyone for help? I wish we could, but we can't. The Chalaxians and their colonists can't stand the Andorans, Malthun is at war with Nermathus, Nidal and Lastwall are at daggers drawn, and all of them envy the wealth of Absalom, protest against the godlessness of Druma, and fear the revolutionary plague of Galt. They can tolerate each other in small doses, but an official letter from the commander summoning one of the nations to assist the crusade will lead to, shall we say, an eruption of toxic volcanoes across half the courts of Avestan. So I'm afraid you'll have to choose which of your allies is most desirable to you. What's Woljif doing on this council? I doubt he knows anything about politics and diplomacy. I can see that this tiefling possesses a keen mind and the most important trait in politics, a complete lack of conscience. He would make a terrible leader, but he'll prove useful to you as an advisor. Yep, I traded my conscience for a cherry roll back when I was a kid. Hey, what do you mean, terrible? Let's see what the council has to say. Commander, we both realize that Mendev's political interests lie beyond the competence of this council. The decision has already been made, in the capital. Neurosian has shown courtesy and concern for your authority by allowing you to implement the decision yourself. I trust my own council more than the royal council. Indeed, what could Her Majesty's most loyal servants possibly know about diplomacy? Let us listen to the council. Sociel, why do you suggest we accept Lastwall's aid? The Shining Crusade of Lastwall and Mendev have much in common. We protect Galarian from demons, they fight the undead and the legacy of Tar Bafan, the Whispering Tyrant. Like us, Lastfolk are used to eternal war. They are persistent, vigilant, and know how to oppose baleful magic. Their swords will aid us on the front lines, and the watchful eye of their inquisitors will do us much good on the home front, where the spies of the Ivory Labyrinth roam. Yeah, we clearly don't have enough of our own righteous boars. Let's bring more from Last Wall. War dogs and snobs, the lot of them. They'll barge in here and demand that everyone toe the line. Varen, what benefit do the Sword Lords offer us? A whole slew of benefits. We'll see some fresh blood in this war. Poke the oh-so-formal Neurosian with a stick. Recruit excellent fighters, proud as peacocks, just begging for a chance to prove themselves. And besides, this alliance can be easily arranged. I used to take private fencing lessons from a certain sword lord of high standing. Fencing didn't work out, but her lesson was gorgeous. Aaron, isn't this going a little far? We can't make decisions of such importance just because you had an affair with a Brevin. Lan, do you think Numeria will join us? If we treat them as equals, they will. They may be barbarians by the standards of lands like Mendev, but nobody can call them cowards, and many of them are descendants of the Sarkorians who fled to their Kelid kin in Numeria. We'll remind them about the time they were wronged by the demons, and whole clans of Avengers will answer the call. Lan, you are so passionate about finding new friends. Together you will, let's see, sit by the bonfire, play some dissonant musical instruments, pick your teeth with your knives. What else do savages do for fun? We dance around naked, obviously. Sorry I can't bring you along. They'll make fun of me for having such a scrawny friend. There's a reason why Numeria hasn't been invited to join the crusade. Needless to say, I personally do not share this prejudice against them, but not all sovereigns of Avestan feel the same way. Some will find it beneath them to be involved in the same crusade as barbarians. Woljif, tell me more about the advantages of a partnership with Varisia. Varisia is a real frontier, the land of the free. Adventurers of all stripes go there to seek their fortune. The sailors there aren't scared of going after sea dragons and krakens, and the thugs, they're not scared of anyone or anything whatsoever. Those daredevils fear no demon, and that's exactly the kind of guts we need. Are we looking for allies or henchmen? Even I'm aware that Varisia is a realm of gangs and self-willed despotism, and I just crawled out from under a rock, you know. Lady Konami, what sort of help can we expect from Eisger? Eisger is a nation locked in a constant territorial struggle with goblin tribes. Countless battles have tempered their army, taught them not to fear losses, and granted experience in both the military craft and the cultivation of untamed lands. Their formidable combat sorcerers would be of great use to Dresden. Would you not agree? There is, however, another reason to pursue an alliance with them. Eisger is a protectorate of Cheliax, and with such a mighty patron at their back, they have no shortage of resources or troops. By establishing friendly relations with Eisger, we can strengthen our ties with a powerful neighbor to the south. The value of such an alliance is indisputable. Lady Kenobi, I do not doubt that only your innate modesty forbids you from mentioning the innumerable bribes received by Neurosian diplomats for facilitating this alliance. I imagine Cheliax was most generous. However, among the funds that make their way into our army's coffers, I could not spot a single coin of Chelaxian mintage. So, why should we help you? Unlocks the Inquisitor's mercenary unit, infantry specializing in slaying spellcasters. Unlocks the Duelist's mercenary unit, infantry capable of parrying enemy attacks. Unlocks the Barbarian's mercenary unit, powerful offensive infantry. 10 barbarians are recruited at the commander's headquarters. Unlocks the Rogue's mercenary unit, fighters effective at flanking enemies. Unlocks the Sorcerer's mercenary unit, spellcasters that deal damage with combat spells. Yeah, I don't really have any magic users right now, aside from the clerics. Yeah, if she had to put up with my shit last time, I'll throw her a bone this time. Your wisdom never fails you. Neurosian will be pleased to know you're not squandering allies whom they have taken such pains to attract. The battle sorcerers of Eisger, hardened in the clashes with goblins, will serve you well. I won't detain you any longer, Commander. When matters of foreign or domestic politics once again require your attention, I will convene the Diplomatic Council.
Hail, Commander. Dorgalinda Stranglehold, Chair of the Logistics Council, at your service. We've got ourselves an ugly situation that requires your attention. Hey there, I'm on this council too. You know me, I'm a tip-top logistic counselor. I hope I won't get in anyone's way if I join you. I think I could give some good advice here, if you don't mind, of course. Hopefully this council will benefit from my vast experience surviving with gear that consists of rocks and sticks, and where any dinner that's not squirming on your plate is considered a feast. All in all, kind of like our crusade. I won't lie to you, our logistics are a mess. We need more of everything, and what we do have is in disarray. Crates of provisions are rotting away in storehouses because some idiot quartermaster spilled beer on the papers, and fools are not the worst problem. There's also theft. Some officers grease palms to get a helmet with stylish plumage or a fancy blade from Neurosian. Meanwhile, that means that ordinary soldiers are being armed with barely more than kitchen knives, hammer and tongs. It's time to give the entire logistics staff the bum's rush. The question is, where do we find capable and honest people to replace them? The army's always a mess. It's the army. Duh. If we want to get ourselves out of the bog, supplies have got to be handled by real money makers, not soldiers. Merchants, store clerks, people with a habit of counting every coin, not sucking away on the kingdom's udder. These scoundrels must be replaced with decent, honorable people. Selfless souls who have proven that they put their comrades' lives above all else, especially their own wealth. Surely that's who will take the best care of our soldiers. Let's get some veterans on the job, people who've had their fill of the front lines, and who know firsthand what life is like for a common soldier, what the rations taste like, and how the boots are always the wrong size. My suggestion is to call some experienced, well-connected supply officers from Neurosian. Let them leave their cushy jobs in Mendev and work up a sweat for the good of the crusade.
Dorgalinda, what are this council's responsibilities? The Logistics Council deals with all matters relating to supplying the army. Most issues will be trivial and undeserving of your attention. However, from time to time, serious discussions will need to be made. And that's when I'll convene the council. I have questions for the council. Woljif, how did you end up on this council? And why not, huh? I'm your man when it comes to fetching the unfetchable, you know. So I figured I could show the lads in your army how it's done. And it never hurts to be close to those in charge of grub and new boots. Arushale, what are you doing on this council? You think I shouldn't have joined? It's just, well, I spent a lot of time studying how armies work, both Crusader and demonic, when I was spying. I think my advice might be useful. Or at least I hope it will be. But if I'm a bother, I'll leave, of course. Lan, how can you be of use to this council? I know a thing or two about gathering weapons and provisions. Compared to the war for survival we had to wage underground, you guys have it easy up here. If things go badly, I can teach your troops to live off the land and how to craft decent weapons from junk. They'll have memories of Land's special stew for years. Not sure if those will be fond memories, but they'll remember for sure. Dorgalinda, why were you assigned to head this council? Over my years of doing quartermaster duty, I've managed to develop a bit of a reputation for myself. The units I'm responsible for are always properly equipped, armed, and fed. Thieves, scatterbrains, and reprobates promptly get the boot. Bureaucrats who never seem to have anything miraculously find everything they need after meeting with me. In short, don't you worry, Commander. I'm right where I belong. Let's discuss our options in more detail. Woljif, tell me more about your idea. Easy. Why do quartermasters lose gear or drink it away? 'Cause they're bunglers and drunks, obviously. But also 'cause they're used to everything being funded. It's not theirs to lose. So they don't care. We'll bring in some savvy folks who know the price of coin. The money people, basically. I know a couple of fences, and now they, for some reason, could always find whatever they needed. They had everything in order. Top notch. You couldn't snatch a nail from them. Now, yes, there will be some skimming here and there within reason. That's a given. It's in their nature, bless their grubby hands. But what matters is they'll be stealing after they get the soldiers everything that's needed, or they'll be given the sack in no time. I'm pretty sure I know where Brother Woljif will get his new quartermasters. I bet my horn it's thieflings. Arushale, what are you advising? What are you suggesting? A quartermaster's job is to care for the well-being of the soldiers they're equipping for battle. That means the best people to appoint to those positions are people who really care. Those who will keep their fighters warm, fed, and properly armed. Maybe they won't have the most experience, but that's alright. It's easier to teach someone numbers and how to run a warehouse than it is to instill a conscience in them. Lan, what would you advise? In our tribe, we believe that the hunter's gear should be entrusted to the most seasoned hunter, to those who stalk the prey themselves and learn the price of a mistake in outfitting, an old bowstring, a dull spear, a tattered cloak, the hard way. I think that's how it should be in the army. Whoever is responsible for supplies must know war firsthand. They must have dragged themselves through the mud of the battlefield, seen with their own eyes how a rotted strap or a boot one size too large can lead to a soldier's death. They must have eaten their share of rotten cabbages and seen carts of horseshoes and pots pull up at their position instead of ammunition because of some clerical error. Assign new quartermasters from the veterans, like Dorgalinda here. I bet they won't steal, and they won't let anyone else steal either. Just 'cause veterans know what they want doesn't mean they know how to get it. For every smart one like Dorgalinda, you get 10 knuckleheads who've only ever been taught how to swing a sword. And if you take that sword from them, they'll never figure out how to pinch a new one. Dorgalinda, your opinion? There are some great workers in Mendev who have been sitting at home for way too long. Let the Queen send them to us. Instead of counting buttons for the frock coats of Nerosian Royal Guard, let them sort out our supplies. And they'll already have connections in Nerosian. They could easily have army property decommissioned and later sold to private buyers for next to nothing. Those buyers will just happen to be the same mercenaries we're negotiating with. Connections are all too important, as you well know. Let's see. All trainable units gain the expensive equipment feat. Gain the ready for anything feat. Only the essentials feat. Equipment from the state feat. I wish I knew what the feats did. Oh, here we go. Unit has a +1 bonus to attack and AC. Unit has a +2 to all saving throws. Unit has a +10 bonus to maximum HP. Unit has a +1 bonus to attack and all saving throws. Yeah, let's go with Lan's idea. Veterans know what's what. They won't do their comrades wrong. They'll see that they're always fed, healthy, and warm. And it's decided, no matter what our new quartermasters are like, there's no possible way they can be worse than what we have now. The results will be reported to you. And if anything else comes up, I'll call the council right away. Our intelligence was correct. Koramzadeh's host marches on Dresden. In his position, the wisest course of action upon reaching the walls would be to lay siege and wear down our forces with nuisance raids. However, my experience tells me that he will act differently. This is going to be a full-on assault, a decisive display of his power.
When the enemy moves in on our position, we must meet them with a hail of arrows from the walls, gaining the full advantage of our superior defensive position. To prepare our army for this battle, I proposed to pass a reform that had increased the presence of ranged troops in our ranks. I believe light-armed slingers, a great number of whom can be trained quickly, will be adequate for our purposes. And once the demons get to them, every one of those slingers will be slaughtered. I say we only recruit experienced, seasoned rangers who have traveled far and wide and know how to defend themselves in any situation. Captain Odin is correct to assume that our ranged troops can manage with light armaments. However, the troops themselves must be of exemplary quality to complete the task at hand. I suggest we pick the most adept archers we have, and have them undergo rigorous training until they become true marksmen. Why is Khorramzadeh so intent on reclaiming Dresden? By capturing this city, we have gone on the offensive for the first time in decades. We have broken the established mold. That which is taken by demons rarely escapes their grasp. The liberation of Dresden could become a symbol of new hope for mortal kind, and Khorramzadeh seeks to smother that hope in its cradle. Moreover, Dresden is a well-positioned foothold that threatens both the World Wound and northern Mendev. Khorramzadeh cannot fail to appreciate its significance. But there is also a more pragmatic reason. Back in the day, Khorramzadeh planned to capture Dresden himself, but Minago beat him to it. If he takes it back now, he will finally have his glory, as well as further humiliating Minago. I want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Why rangers, Sela? We can't bolster our ranks with hunters and shepherds who can shoot an arrow but don't know anything about melee combat. War is not shooting partridges out of the sky. The demons could easily break through our ranks and attack our archers, and what happens then? A massacre that will leave us digging graves for a bunch of boys and girls? Rangers, on the other hand, spend their whole lives traveling, and they know what it's like to rely on no one but themselves. They're battle-hardened, and they can wield both a bow and a blade to fend off a dangerous foe if need be. In worrying about the lives of individual soldiers, we must not put their safety above expediency. The price of defeat will be the loss of the entire army, not just a few soldiers. Regel, tell me more about the snipers. If we take 100 archers and work them to the bone, in time we will discover a dozen with real talent. They must be able to remain completely focused on their combat objective, taking out one opponent after another, and the infantry's duty is to shield such valuable assets from any attacks, with their bodies if necessary. Captain Odin, can slingers compare to experienced archers? Of course not. A sling is not an accurate weapon, but it is cheap and easy to learn. Slingers training is inexpensive and brief. Any commoner can pick up the basics and will be able to bring a large number of ranged troops onto the battlefield. Their numbers will compensate for their lack of skill. Untrained, practically unarmed peasants in the rear. A perfect target. Yeah, I don't like the idea of slingers. I do like the idea of rangers, though. And what about marksmen? Yeah, let's go with the snipers. I hope these measures will be enough to repel Khorramzadeh's onslaught, and if not, those who come to take our place will learn from our mistakes and fare better.
You know what? I agree. I don't trust her either. Yeah, let's go with the same party as before. Now, how do I get there? That sound.
I will defend my dream. I will resist. Prepare yourself.
Nice.
This one's mine!
Yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now. So, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you all again some other time.